Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Singapore Home Brew on Money FM 89.3.
Now, the Peak magazine is opening up and releasing its Peak Power List 2025. Why the world needs unreasonable and relentless people who move first. That is the subhead of the article. Joining us in the studio is Zat Astha, the editor-in-chief of The Peak. Zat, great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we know that, you know, for people like you that are in such a glamorous business such as the Peak magazine, you probably have many other things you could be doing on a Saturday morning. So,
like cleaning.
Yeah, like cleaning your apartment.
Yes.
Hey, Zach went up in my estimation straight away. As soon as he came in, he said, I could be cleaning. I enjoy cleaning. We are already kindred spirits, Zach. I spend my weekends. Today's bathrooms, drains. Glenn, you did 12,000 steps yesterday.
12,000 steps in my apartment, cleaning my apartment.
Nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Keeps us all humble, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Zat, the theme of the 2025 Peak List is vanguards. Now, first of all, tell us about the Peak List, because it is much watched and people really wait for it to come out every year, of course, hoping their names are on the list. But tell us a little bit more about what the Peak List actually is.
So the Peak Power List is a special list because for two reasons. One, there are only 9. When I came in as the editor-in-chief, I set the number to 9.
Why 9? Just not
9 recipients.
Yeah.
I like things in odd numbers.
Okay.
I feel like 11 is a little bit too much.
And 7 not enough.
9 feels like the vibes is right.
It's very Japanese, you know, like ikebana, you want 3 flowers or 5 flowers, 7 flowers. So 9, okay.
Yeah, so 9.
Cool.
And the other reason why it's special is because the list is themed. So there is a theme to the list. It's not just a power list in general. It's not just a generic list of people who have done great things. There are many people who have done great things.
Yeah.
But I decided to make the job a little bit harder by putting a list, by putting a theme to it so that I can decide specifically who I can choose to put which 9 people I can choose to put into this umbrella of one theme. So I'll talk about what was the themes for the past 2 years. So last year was Joy. So that theme was about spotlighting business leaders who bring joy to people through the work that they do. At the center of my list is this CEO. His name is Jensen Goh, and he makes playgrounds. So, you know, it's quite clear-cut. You obviously are in the business of joy.
Yeah.
The year before that was the hardest year because I chose a very hard theme, which is quiet power. So the problem with quiet power is that people who are doing quiet power work don't want to be seen, they don't want to be photographed, they don't want to be celebrated.
Kind of hard to put them in the Peak Power List.
And
Exactly.
there's a lot of those in Singapore.
A lot.
many,
I
And,
respect those guys.
Yeah.
and the amount of rejection that I got from that, right, is... Wow, I remember sitting at my sofa one afternoon after getting like the 4th rejection, and I told myself, you know what, if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. It's fine. I can live with this. It's okay. It's fine. But eventually that came to fruition. So it's a very sexy theme, if I have to say so myself. So every year has been a way. Every year I have to figure out how can I top the previous year? How can I top the previous year? So this year is vanguards. So the theme is vanguards. And I'm not talking just about business leaders that are leading the way. I have three criteria when I chose these leaders. The first is that they have to resist comfort. So they cannot be choosing the easy road. They have to step into discomfort because they believe something better is possible. So they keep showing up even when it's thankless, even when it's difficult, or even when it is unnoticed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the second criteria is that they resist consensus or groupthink. So they're not afraid to stand apart from what everyone else thinks in the industry. They like to question the usual way of doing things, even when it makes others uncomfortable. And they speak up even when it matters, even if it means standing alone. I'll explain some of the people, in fact, I'll explain all the recipients and you will see what I mean. Then the third is that they resist superficial change. So they focus on real change, which are deep, long-term, meaningful. So it's whether it's rethinking about who gets access or how systems are built. They are interested in real change, not just like set dressing the surface of the problems that they are facing.
Yeah.
So Glenn and I are the first two. We just need the other 7.
We are so far off that list.
Yeah, of course. So you've got the themes, but the general criteria of the people, they all have to be business leaders. Is that
they are either business leaders, change makers, or I suppose industry leaders. Because
so they could be in the arts. They could
can
be in literature, sports.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Singaporeans or just living in Singapore?
I don't limit it to just Singaporeans. So last year I had 2 Malaysians. This year I have 1 Malaysian. But only because the work that they do affects Singaporeans in some way or form.
Did they live in Singapore?
They don't live in Singapore,
Okay.
but they probably have subsidiaries in Singapore,
Interesting.
or they have customers
Got
in
it.
Singapore. Yeah.
So they have to have some impact on Singapore.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be so broad that, in theory, it could be Taylor Swift because she has a huge impact on Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So give us a list.
So
Do you want to start by you want to tell us all the names and
Yes.
then go through and then we can talk about individuals?
okay, sure.
Yeah.
So the names are, so I have Hazlin Ahmad, who is the Deputy CEO for the Institute of Neurodiversity. I have Felix Lee, who is the CEO of ADP List. Asad Razuk, the CEO of Gurin Energy. Eugene Lee, the co-founder and CRO of Staff Annie. John Tan, the Chief Education Officer of Erudify. Hao Ming Lee, the CEO of Lucan Group. Diane Chia, the Malaysian, who is the Executive Director for Millennial Village. Marie Chong, who is the founding partner of Wavemaker Impact. And Martin Modari, the founder of School of Day One.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, there's 9 of them, and we probably won't have time to go through all 9 in detail.
Okay.
But are there any themes that unite them all? I mean, I know you said vanguards, but are there any things that stand out that link all 9 of them before we go into detail?
I suppose if there is a link that unites all these people, the strongest one for me is that they are doing work that changes community, society, and the world. And these are work that we didn't think need changing. Yeah, that's what I think is the theme.
So they change a world that we didn't think needed changing.
Correct.
I like that. That reminds me of
Yeah.
the famous, is it the Henry Ford quote, that if I just listened to the people, I would have just come up with faster horses.
Yes.
Which is true, right?
Yes.
You've got to invent something that people don't know they actually need and
Yes.
want. That's
Correct.
the real genius. Fascinating.
Tell us about a couple in particular that you thought were like they all stand out. We
And
know
what they
that because
did,
they're
yeah.
all on the list. But any that you were especially excited about?
Okay, so I will probably share 4.
Okay,
Great.
For the sake of time.
Let's do it.
So the first one that I want to talk about is Hazlin Ahmad, who is the Deputy CEO for the Institute of Neurodiversity. So the work that she does at the Institute of Neurodiversity Singapore. So what the Institute of Neurodiversity Singapore is actually a global organization that advocates for the inclusion of neurodivergent individuals in workplaces, education, and leadership. So Hazlin believes that there is a gap in a lot of organizations who don't know how to manage employees with neurodiversity, and that is causing a lot of gaps in talent, a lot of gaps in employment opportunities and creativity.
What's an example of neurodivergence or neuro issues like that?
So, for
What does that
instance, people who have autism,
Okay.
people who have ADHD.
Somebody might be on some spectrum somewhere. Okay.
Yes, and people who have dyslexia. Right now, we have a name for it. Previously, in like past years, right, we just look at them and feel and think that they are a little bit quirky, a little bit strange. But now we have a name for it. But because in the previous years we don't have a proper name for them, so we write them off as many things like they can't pay attention for a long time. They are probably a little bit
antisocial,
correct,
something. Yeah.
correct, yeah. And so we quickly ignore the values that they bring, and that for Hazlin is not correct. She doesn't want neurodiverse people to be employed because they are a token. She wants them to be employed, or she wants them to be involved in leadership because they bring something really special and really interesting to the table.
Fantastic. And the other three?
So the other three, I'll probably talk about Marie Cheong. So Marie Cheong is the founding partner for Wavemaker Impact. And what she does is, so at the core, she's building climate businesses in Southeast Asia. So it is a VC. But how she does this work, right, is that she hires or she reaches out to CEOs who have exited. So now they are successful, they want to find a way to bring impact to the world, and they actually know how to do it because they have exited.
Yeah.
Right? So she brings them on and she tells them, okay, look, there's this problem. I think we can have you solve it by creating this company that solves this problem.
I don't know her, but Wavemaker had co-working space at the 1880 Club with me.
Right.
So I know a bunch.
Yes.
I know a bunch of
Yeah.
a bunch of their folks. It is an awesome organization.
Yes,
super
it is.
smart.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that is Wavemaker Impact. The third one I want to feature is John Tan, who is the Chief Education Officer for Erudify. So Erudify is a company that is a social enterprise that provides affordable education financing to students in Southeast Asia, specifically in Indonesia and the Philippines. So to date, they have financed 60,000 students.
What?
Yeah.
To get what, primary, tertiary? What do you know? What levels of education? University.
60,000?
60,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And in the interview that he did with me, he tells me that even though a lot of international organizations, international monetary organizations have come up to say, oh, you're doing such great work, you're doing such fantastic effort for these students, it's still difficult for him to get the funding for the organization because student debt is not considered the best kind of debts.
Right. Sure.
Right. So it is very difficult. So he is in this position where these students will pay their loans because for them, they look at these loans as a step up to a better future because they are mostly from underprivileged communities. But to get them to be funded, he needs more people to fund them. So his role as the Chief Education Officer is to make sure that that funding flows in. But it has been quite difficult. So
have you connected with Wavemaker? There you go.
Probably. But Wavemaker, they look at more of like the green part, the sustainability part of the world. Yeah.
Sure.
And I think
That's fantastic. 60,000. You've got to connect him with us. We've got to have this person on the show.
Yes.
That
Sounds
is
great.
absolutely fantastic.
it's fantastic. So when I saw the 60,000 number, I thought like, are you sure? Do you mean 6,000? Isn't it 60,000?
In Singapore?
In Indonesia and Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
How are you rolling out the list? I know you had mentioned earlier that you're kind of in the process of getting everybody's names out there. How does that actually happen with the Peak magazine?
So in the print issue, all 9 names will be out by default.
Okay. Right. And when is that?
That should be, the print magazine should be ready by 4th of August.
Oh, next week.
Next week.
This week, coming week.
Yes, this coming week, yeah. But online, we are slowly rolling it out because I wanted to give the space and the time to really talk about these profiles in full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I talk about the last one?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So the fourth one is this this gentleman called Martin Modari, who is the founder of School of Day One. So School of Day One focuses on micro mentoring. So it's a mentorship platform that rethinks how we tackle social mobility. So it connects working professionals with young people from underprivileged backgrounds through short, focused, skill-based sessions. When I interviewed Martin during the photo shoot, he told me something to the effect of, why do we have internships that are so long? Why does it have to be 3 months? Why does it have to be 6 months? Why can't we do micro internships? And he says that he uses this philosophy with the mentorship as well. Why do mentorship have to be long? Why can't it be small bursts? Because there is still value in that. You think about the people that you have met that have changed the way you think or changed the way you feel. And we didn't even spend a lot of time with them. It's just like 1 hour or like 30 minutes. And suddenly we have our minds changed. Yeah. So what Martin wants to...
Isn't that just a conversation? Is it a micro internship?
I think for him, it's because a lot of times when people go through life and they are very successful, we seldom stop to think about how we got to the success that we have gotten, right? So what he wants, right, is he wants these successful individuals to go to the people that are a little bit more underprivileged, maybe in terms of social mobility, maybe in terms of meritocracy, they're not ahead of the curve. So he wants to go to them. He wants these successful people to go to this underprivileged community and share stories of success and stories of how they got there. So I thought that was interesting because this is the first time that I've ever heard of the term ground up initiatives. Yeah, so that was very interesting.
Very impressive indeed.
Yep.
And this comes out next week in the Peak magazine.
Yes, it comes out Monday.
Last question from me. I admire what you're doing because I've written for the Peak in the past. I've written for many magazines. It's very hard for magazines in the current climate. What's your secret to keeping the Peak magazine relevant, engaging, both the print and online versions?
My secret, but if I tell you, it won't be a secret, but I'll just
your
share.
philosophy.
I suppose if there was a word that ties a lot of the work that we do at the Peak, it will be meaningfulness. And a lot of print magazines don't reach for this as the first principle. But for me, that is the thing that drives all the stories that we create. I don't like stories that are pointy. I like stories that have meaning. And that meaning, of course, is different from person to person. But the general story has to have some sort of impact. My tagline for the magazine is meaningful reads for modern minds. And that, for me, is the philosophy of the entire publication. That's how it keeps us ahead.
Fantastic.
Zat, we will look forward to seeing the Peak Power List out next week in the Peak magazine. Do pick it up. You can get the hard copy. It'll also these profiles will also be viewed online as well, right?
Yeah, the hard copy can be bought at Kinokuniya.
There we go.
And this is very important.
And of course, you can subscribe to it and have
For
it
sure.
sent to your house every month.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Zat, thank you so much. Zat Astha, the editor-in-chief of the Peak magazine. Will you come back on and tell us how people have responded to the list?
Sure, for
a little bit later in the year?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Zat.
Thank you so much.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.